Hello, grade 8. Good day, everyone. I may not be physically present with you today, but we will continue with our computer lesson through this recorded discussion. So, for today, we're going to begin a very exciting topic because we are getting closer to creating our own web pages. But before we learn how to create a website, we first need to understand the environment where website exist, the World Wide Web. So our lesson is entitled Introduction to the World Wide Web, Exploring the Web Before We Build It. Most of you probably use the web every day, but the question is, do you really know how it works? Let's find out. So before we begin, let's look at our learning objectives. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to first identify various web browsers and their features. Second, demonstrate how to navigate the web. Third, identify the differentiate different types of website based on their purpose. And fourth, explain the importance of web standards. So these concepts class are important because soon you will not only be users of websites, you will begin creating web pages yourselves. So before I explain everything, I want you to think about your daily routine. What websites do you visit every day? Maybe you visit websites to watch videos, search for information, play games, communicate with other people, or complete your school work. Okay? Next question. What do you usually do online? And what browser do you normally use? So you might be using Chrome, Edge, Safari, Firefox, or um, another browsers. So now, imagine this. What would be your life without web? Okay, without the web. So think about that for a few seconds. Many things that we do today, like communication, education, entertainment, shopping, and accessing information, depend heavily on the web. And that's exactly what we're going to understand today. So, what exactly is the World Wide Web? All right. So, the World Wide Web is commonly called the web or triple W or www. So, what is that? It is a collection of interconnected web pages and resources that we access through the internet using the web browser. So let's look at the sequence of your on your screen. For example, you connect to your website or you connect your device to the internet. You open a browser. Through the browser, you visit a website. And inside that website, you can access different web pages. One important thing to remember is that the internet and the World Wide Web are not exactly the same thing, class. And we'll discuss that on the next slide. So, students sometimes use the words internet and web as if they mean exactly the same thing, but there is a difference. When you say internet, this is the global network that connects millions of computers and devices around the world. The World Wide Web, on the other hand, is one of the services that uses the internet. Here's the simple analogy. Imagine that the internet is a system of roads. The web is like the thing that travel using the roads. So without the roads, you cannot travel from one place to another. So in the same way, the web depends on the internet to transfer information between computer and devices. So remember, Internet equals the network. So World Wide Web equals the collection of websites and web pages that we access using that network. All right? So now, if websites are on the web, how do we access them? You're correct, with the use of a web browser. So look at the examples on your screen. We have Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, and Opera. So I'm sure you have already seen or used at least one of these. So for example, if you are using a Windows computer, you might see Microsoft Edge. Many people also install Google Chrome. If you're using an iPhone, iPod, Mac, or you may be familiar with Safari. So even though these browsers look slightly different, their main purpose is the same, which is to allow us to access and interact with websites. Now, look at your device on a device or computer and try to identify the browsers that you have normally used. Okay? So, I think you can identify this time. So now that we know that browser is, let's identify some of its common parts of a browser. Okay, first is the address bar. So this is where you type an address or the URL of a website. Then next we have the back and forward buttons. The back buttons takes you to the previous page, while the forward button always allows you to return to a page after going back. So next is the refresh or reload button. If a page isn't displaying properly or you want to load updated information, so you can click refresh. The home button takes you to the browser designated homepage. We also have tabs. Tabs are very useful because they allow us to open multiple web pages in the same browser window. So next are bookmarks. We use bookmarks to save websites that we want to visit again. Finally, the menu. It gives us access, additional browser setting, and tools. Knowing these parts will help you navigate the web more efficiently. Let's talk about web navigation. So navigating the web simply means moving around the web and accessing different online resources. So there are several ways to do this. You can type URL directly into the address bar, or you can click the hyperlink. So a hyperlink is usually a clickable text button or image that takes you to another page or resource. So you can also use the search engine such as the Google, Yahoo to find information. You can also open several websites using different tabs. You can use back and forward to move between previously visited pages. You can refresh a page. And if you find a useful website that you want to visit again, you can save it as a bookmark. So these may seem like simple actions, but they are fundamental skills in navigating the web. So this time, let's learn about URL. Yes, you've heard me mention the word URL several times. But what exactly is it? URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. So simply put a URL in the address of a resource of the web. So just like your house has an address to people so that people can locate it. So a web page has URL, so your browser knows where to find it. So a URL can contain different parts. If you can see, you have it first, the protocol, such as the HTTPS. The HTTPS is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured, something like that. Okay. Then next is the domain name, which identifies the website. And sometimes there is a path, which directs the browser to a particular page or resource within the website. So you don't need have to memorize every technical detail yet. Okay, for now, remember this. A URL tells the browser where to find a resource on the web. All right? So let's move on. So now, let's understand the difference between a website and a web page. So a book contains, um, I'll use this simple analogy. Imagine a website as a book. So a book contains many pages, right? So in the same way, a website can contain many web pages. So the home page is like the cover or table of contents of the book. So it's usually the main page that helps you access other part of the website. And the hyperlinks are like connections that allow you to move from one page to another, right? So when it's a hyperlink, sometimes it has a colored. When you hover your mouse, it has an underline and it is a clickable one that lets you transfer from one page to another. So just remember this class. Website is equals like the entire book. Web pages, the entire pages inside the book. Home page, the main page or the starting page, and the hyperlinks, connections between pages. Am I understood? Right, let's go and move forward to the next slide. Not all websites have the same purpose class. Let's look at some common types. First, educational websites provides lesson, learning resources, tutorials, and other educational materials. We also have e-commerce website. It is designated for buying and selling products or services online like eBay, Lazada, Shopee, TikTok Shop, okay, a lot more. A news website provides current event reports and updates. We also have an entertainment website. It will be it may provide videos, music games, and other forms of entertainment. A social networking website allows people to connect, communicate, and share content. A government website provides public information and government services. A business or corporate website provides information about a company, its product, and its services. A blog usually contains articles, opinions, experiences, or other written content. And a search engine helps users find information on the web. So when you visit a website, try asking yourself, what is the main purpose of this website? That will help you classify it. All right? So those are the types of website based on purpose. Slide next, slide 12. Website classification challenge. Okay, grade 8. So it's your turn. I want everyone to participate in this activity. Okay, get a piece of paper and identify the type of website being described. Okay, number 1. Are you ready? I'll give you time to get your paper. So, write your name. This time, write number 1. An online store selling shoes. So, identify what kind of website it is. Number 2, a website showing daily current events. Number 3, a website containing school lessons. Number 4, a website containing free online games. Number 5, a platform where people can connect and chat with friends. And number 6, a website offering government services and information. So 6 items in all. Okay, let me repeat. Number 1, an online store selling shoes. Number 2, a website showing daily current events. Number 3, a website containing school lessons. Number 4, a website containing free online games and videos. And number 5, a platform where people can connect and chat with friends. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So, number 1, what is your answer? E-commerce. Number 2, what is your answer? News. 3, educational. 4, entertainment. 5, social networking. 6, government. So how many did you get correct? Okay, I hope everyone got it right. So let's move on. So what are web standards, class? So now we move on to another important concept, the web standards, class. So when you say web standards, these are agreed upon rules and guidelines used when creating websites so that website can work properly across different browser and devices. So why do we need rules? Imagine if every web developer created websites using completely different rules. A website might work perfectly in Chrome but not work in other browser. That is why standards are important. So you will soon encounter 3 important technologies in web development. The HTML, which is the Hypertext Markup Language that provides the structure and content of a web page. We also have the CSS, or Cascading Style Sheets, controls the appearance, the design, and the style. And the last one is the JavaScript that can add behavior and interactivity. So it's like making it more interactive, like getting inputs from the user using your website. So we also have here an organization associated with developing web standards in the World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C. So with the use of W3C, it sets and maintains the standards. So you don't need to master all 3 technologies today. In our upcoming lessons class, we will start with HTML. All right? Now, why are web standards important? So why should developers follow web standards? Web standards help make websites accessible. Then this means websites should be usable, okay, usable by us, many people as possible. So they also help make websites compatible, okay? Compatible, when you say compatible, meaning the site can work properly across different browsers. And standards help websites remain consistent. They can make websites more user-friendly and easier to navigate. And importantly, websites should function properly across different devices. So remember, class, remember that people don't access websites only through computers. We also use our smartphones, tablets, we also have laptops, and many other devices, right? So as a future web creators, we should think not only about how website looks, but also about whether people can actually use it properly. Put it into your mind. So, think about it. Before we continue, I want you to think about this question. What might happen if web developers did not follow web standards? Would websites work properly on every web browser? Or would a website look correct on different devices? Could some users have difficulty accessing information? Think about your answers. I'll give you time to think, and maybe you can share your answers in front. All right. So, uh, the main idea here, class, no, the main idea is that without standards, websites could behave very differently depending on the browser or device being used. That's why following standards is part of creating good and reliable web pages. All right? I hope you got it. So, it's time to check what you've learned. So, if you have questions, please ask. If none, so let's continue. Let me ask you, okay? So get your paper and answer these 5 questions. Or just write it in a notebook. Okay, get your computer notebook this time. I want you to write the question. What does triple W stand for? Number 2, which of the following is a web browser? Microsoft Word, Google, Chrome, or Notepad? I can answer it directly na lang. So what is URL in number 3? What type of website allows user to buy and sell products online? That's number 4. And for number 5, why are web standards important? Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, so let's check your answer. Number 1, what is your answer? www stands for World Wide Web. Number 2, which of these is a web browser? It's Chrome. Okay, Google Chrome. Number 3, what is a URL? A URL or Uniform Resource Locator is the address of a resource on the web. Number 4, or the cell address, or kanang website address, it could be. Number 4, e-commerce website. And for number 5, web standards are important because they help websites remain accessible, compatible, consistent, user-friendly, and functional across different browser and devices. Okay, check your score. If you made a mistake, that's okay, class. Review the part of the lesson that you didn't fully understand. Okay, so we're almost done. So, lesson summary. So, before we end our discussion, let's review the most important concepts from today's lesson. The World Wide Web, contains interconnected web pages and websites. The web, or we use web browser to access and navigate the web. The URL helps us locate a particular resource on the web. Websites can have different purposes. They can be educational, commercial, informational, entertaining, social, and many others. And finally, web standards help developers create websites that are consistent, accessible, and functional. If you remember these concepts, you already have a good foundation for our next topic. And that brings us to the end of today's discussion. So up to this point, most of you have been user of the web. You visit websites, you search information, you watch videos, you click links. But starting with our next lesson, we're going to change roles. You are going to become a web creators. Our next topic will be HTML, the structure of a web page. So you will begin learning how the web pages you see every day are actually created. So please remember, class, the concepts we discussed today, because they will serve as our foundation, okay, as your foundation as we begin web development. So that would be all. Thank you for listening and participating in our lesson. Even though I am not there with you today, I expect everyone to participate, answer the activities, and behave properly. So please follow the instructions given by your assigned teacher or class facilitator. I'll see you in our next lesson. Goodbye and God bless you, grade 8, and have a productive day.